what you gonna do, yacht dollar, on CryptoBullGod and his cryptomaniacs and the entire cryptocurrency market run wild on you? Welcome in. I am the CryptoBullGod, and this is the recorded on Thursday, airing on Thursday, April 29th, 2021 CryptoBullGod Podcast. It is NFL Draft Day for all those who are into football, and I'm really excited. I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how they're going to screw this one up again. We have been horrendous with the draft, and I am fully anticipating that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to do something that we're not expecting. It's going to be a head-scratcher, and I can't wait to listen to R. Diddy, Ray Didinger, who I have a lot of respect for. So, with that being said, let's get into the podcast. That's what I'm going to be doing after I record this. You can find me on Twitter, TradingView, and YouTube at CryptoBullGod. You may also quite possibly email me at cryptobullgod@gmail.com. We're gonna get into that later in the podcast. So let's kind of kick things off here. You know, I put out a TA video last Friday on the, what would that be, the 23rd of April. I have a TA video out there on my YouTube channel, so if you haven't seen it, check it out. Everything I've spoken to, I still feel very solid on. Right now, Bitcoin is at 53,300. And I believe in the video I said, to pay particular attention to the monthly candle, the April close. And what I expected, I drew it out. I've tweeted about it. If you're not following me, CryptoBullGod at Twitter. I expected the April monthly close to look similar in nature. I think it was the September close. I'm trying to quickly flip to that chart. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I think I pointed to the September candle. Is that right? Yep, September. So I'm expecting there to be a longer wick, and I said, we'll probably close Friday. What I'm hoping to see and what I expect to see is to see a close right around 56,000. So as long as we close right around the minimum of that range, it's kind of falling in line with what I would expect. Now, if it closes at 54,832, it's pretty damn close to 55,000. So we just, the point I was trying to make in the video was we just want to see a longer wick on the monthly candle. And the other point I stressed to everyone listening is the more we zoom out on a chart, okay, given that there's available price data, the more it lends itself to a more credible view in terms of what we're seeing visually on the chart. Meaning that if we're looking at a 1 month chart, there's more credence to what we're seeing versus looking at a 1 minute chart. Funny story, back in I think 2019, I called somebody out within the, sad to say he is in the XRP community. Sad to say this guy represents the XRP community. This guy was posting charts on the 1 minute time frame for XRP and said he had some real fancy model to analyze price bursts on XRP. Guy was a total ass. Like, just was speaking garbage, made no sense. Questioned him, wanted to see his model. Of course, he never shared anything with me. He blocked me. I can't stand people like that. So anyway, the 1 minute chart, unless you're a day trader, which I am not, is something that you shouldn't even pay any attention to. The more you zoom out, basically, the more credibility and the more it can accurately depict kind of what's going on. Now, let's take a look at just a few other charts here and kind of see what's going on so I can give everybody a quick update. Look at that dominance chart. I think I had tweeted this morning about the Bitcoin dominance. We're in free fall, and I know this has been a long time coming, but if you look at the chart I posted, there's a golden zone in here. I forget what view I might have looked at this on. Maybe it was the weekly, not sure. But I created a golden zone in terms of where I expected there to potentially be initial support where we might see a little bit of a bounce. And I think the bottom of it, we're in the zone right now, but I think the bottom of this zone is at 46%. So if we start to get down towards the 46% level, I'm going to reassess and update everyone if on the potential of it dropping even further before it finds support. I mean, there's certainly areas of further support below 46% where it could bounce. Maybe real quick here looking at it, maybe it bounces around 42% or even as low as 40%. But again, kind of reiterating, I've been very consistent in what I've communicated to you guys. What I'm fully expecting over the course of these next several weeks here, May, June timeframe, I'm expecting altcoins to run really hard, drag that Bitcoin dominance down. Doesn't mean, again, I've hit on this so many times. It doesn't mean that the Bitcoin USD price has to be going down. It's just Bitcoin's market share, okay? Its share of the entire cryptocurrency market is decreasing because the altcoins are going up at a more rapid rate, right? And they're grabbing more market share. So I'm expecting this Bitcoin dominance to continue to drop into May and June for there to be a really big altcoin run here, after which Bitcoin will kind of take over, and we're going to go into the last leg of this run where Bitcoin, I'm on record as saying, Bitcoin's going to top somewhere between July and October. That would imply that the altcoins would top shortly thereafter. So meaning, as an example, if Bitcoin were to top in, let's say, late September, I would anticipate the altcoins to top somewhere near the beginning of October, as an example. The more we go on here, I will say I could still see a top in July, but I'm going to stick to that time frame. Sometime between July and October, I've had that time frame out there for a long time. Do I want to hit on the total altcoin market cap real quick? Total altcoin market cap. Wow, it's actually following this. I didn't count on that. Okay. I posted a tweet recently. If you haven't seen it, posted a tweet. I don't even think you can say that. I tweeted a tweet. Tweeted a tweet that was a tweet. Remember Tweety Bird? Tweety Bird. Anyway, I tweeted the total altcoin market cap, and I used the bars pattern to kind of hypothetically, it just looks like we're following a similar pattern. The last time the 10 simple moving average crossed above the 20 simple moving average, and I said, hypothetically, if it followed something similar, by at some point, maybe like mid-May, the total market cap is going to be up near 1.5 trillion, just over 1.4 trillion. Looks like we're following that 3 days in. So, the important thing with fractals real quick, so that was a fractal that I posted about. I've tweeted on this before too. When you see people post fractals on Twitter, it's very, very, very important to observe a couple things with price fractals. First off, price fractals can be a very powerful thing. They can be an indicator in terms of what your rough expectation could be moving forward, but they may not pan out. I do want to say that. If price fractals panned out 100% of the time, everyone would be rich, right? Again, this is where you have to exercise common sense. Price fractals are fun to look at. A price fractal may pan out similar in nature, but the important point that I wanted to hit on here is that a price fractal, if the price fractal actually pans out, the magnitude of the change in direction of the price and the time it takes for that fractal to play out may likely differ. It's just in general what you're doing is you're going back in time and you're looking at a price pattern and you're seeing something similar kind of playing out right now, and you're trying to draw a parallel between the two and say, okay, well, it's this, at this point in time, this is looking similar to this point in time. So hypothetically, this is where we could go based on history. So that's kind of how price fractals work. So I think that's all I have as it relates to commentary in the market. I'm going to jump over to some of these photos that I've been posting where the photos... So there's a photo that says before Bitcoin and then after Bitcoin. And I wanted to kind of explain this because I don't think it's as intuitive for most people that you would really understand what's going on without an explanation. So really what I'm doing in a comical way is Bitcoin. See, here's the thing. Because most people, okay, most people don't understand cryptocurrencies whatsoever. And when they think of cryptocurrency, the only thing that comes to mind is Bitcoin, right? Now, for you and I who are educated on the cryptocurrency market, we know that there's tons of projects out there, right? So we have an understanding of that. But first off, I do want to indicate that Bitcoin really is synonymous with crypto. I mean, for me, Bitcoin was my gateway, much like many of you probably, was my gateway into cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin was my first love. But then, I spread my wings and fly, or flew. I spread my wings and flew. And I started learning about other cryptocurrency projects. So I certainly have an appreciation and I guess you could say love for other cryptocurrency projects. But the pictures are really synonymous with before crypto and after crypto. That's kind of how you should think of it. And they're comical ways of looking at, I'm thinking of a few pictures in my head, right? So before crypto, I drove around in a 2001 Acura Integra. After crypto, I'm buying a brand new car, and I'm still going to keep my 2001 Acura Integra because that thing's like an appendage to me. Before crypto, I posted something today. Before crypto, you're a little mouse running in a wheel, just kind of locked in time, just kind of imprisoned by the system of our fiat monetary system, or maybe it's creating financial freedom for you. And so you're kind of locked inside the wheelhouse of your time, but you learn about cryptocurrencies, you invest, you understand the power, the independence that you can gain through the use of the investment and the technology itself. And so it sort of frees you, right? So there's everything from freedom to the generational wealth transfer opportunity that's taking place that's in the before and after picture. And that's really what it's getting at. And the other one I remember, the funny one I posted about the jobber from the WWF. I posted some random jobber and then the Macho Man Randy Savage, right? So in my mind, I'm thinking, before Bitcoin, all I knew existed, or before cryptocurrencies, all that I knew existed was like, I don't know, mutual funds and US dollars, and I have a 401k and somebody's managing that for me. And then after Bitcoin, I have all these cryptocurrency projects that I self-manage. My personal portfolio is doing awesome. My retirement account, I have a retirement account through Bitcoin IRA. There's a plug for them. Probably not listening, but hey guys, I'm plugging you there. So I have a 401k through Bitcoin IRA. It's self-directed. I can manage that myself. So it's just a completely different world to me. Completely different world. And so that's kind of the humor that I'm trying to get at in those pictures. Now let's move on to the next subject here that I've been anxiously awaiting to talk about. And that has to do with my dear friend Schiff. So I'd like to preface this conversation first off by saying Schiff, who will, as long as he wants, will always be anonymous. I will never reveal the true identity of Schiff. And before I get into what Schiff said, and I want to comment on it, I want to preface this by saying he's a really, really good friend of mine. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. And great guy, very successful, very, very successful, very level-headed guy. And he knows. I mean, he knows that I appreciate our friendship, and I've certainly commended him on many occasions regarding where he's at financially, things inside the gym too. Very dedicated gym guy. So tremendous amount of respect. Great friend of mine, really. Now that I said that. So let's get that out of the way and let's talk about what he said. So first off, let me actually get at the point of why I call him Schiff. For those who are familiar, Peter Schiff is the gold bug, very anti-Bitcoin, very anti-crypto. And, the more that time has gone on, I mean, he looks like a clown. The funny thing is, I guess the correlation I would draw here between Peter Schiff and Schiff is, while I don't personally know Peter Schiff, I have a tremendous amount of respect for Peter Schiff. I've been following him for a while, and a lot of his views on the economy parallel to my own personal views. He's a libertarian. I don't politically identify with any party. I don't like talking politics. It's the only thing in life I'm cynical about. But the more that I've educated myself on political stances, I would say that I tend to definitely lean towards the definition of being a libertarian for sure. So a lot of his views, it would intuitively make sense then that I agree with. But his stance on cryptocurrencies is so god-awful and so ridiculous and so dated. There's pictures out there at visually showing a chart of Bitcoin, and during the ebbs and flows, him calling the death of Bitcoin. It's just ridiculous. Like he sounds like a fool. And the reason I called my friend, I actually removed his name from my address book, and I replaced it with Mini Schiff, was because, for a long period of time now, people that I care about, okay, people that I really, especially people I care about, I really try to make an effort, some sort of outreach. Years ago, I did this years ago to try to get people to start thinking about cryptocurrencies. And it wasn't just Bitcoin, I mentioned a few, but to start to think about these technologies and to consider doing some due diligence of their own to educate themselves on the market. And I would kind of give them a little bit of a flavor, a little bit of a cookie crumbs, if you will, of information that was present within the market and why they would want to consider certain technologies and invest in them. Point them to resources, YouTube links. And so I did this with Mini Schiff many, many, many times. And what I've received in return from Mini Schiff, and I don't know that he's aware of this or how aware he is of this, but Mini Schiff takes a lot of opportunities to share negative news with me. And sometimes he will share pieces of information with me that, to me, strongly suggest or tell me that he hasn't educated himself. He'll share a news article with me, and if he had done any due diligence, he would just know what we commonly call as FUD. It's a bunch of bullshit that the mass media puts out there, and anybody that's actually digging in and understanding the space would know just not to even pay attention to it. So, this has been going on for a while, and it's caused me some level of frustration. I'm not frustrated with Mini Schiff. I've tried to make this distinction with him. I'm frustrated. Well, there have been a couple different points. Maybe I was a little frustrated with him, but for the most part, just frustrated for him because he's a super smart guy, real intelligent. And I think that I feel very convicted because he's not invested in cryptocurrencies. He is missing out tremendously. However well his investments are doing, had he decided at any point in his life, when I had shared this information, to educate himself, and he came to a similar conclusion as myself, even if he wasn't as passionate about it as myself, and he decided to invest a trickle amount that was immaterial to him into the market, into wise investments that I could have helped him with, he'd be doing a fuck ton better than he's doing right now. I can guarantee you that. All I have to do is pull up charts. That's all I have to do. It's factual data. So let's get to the point that I'm trying to arrive at. I wanted to give you a little bit of background there on Mini Schiff. We went out on Saturday, and he made the most asinine comment that he has made on record. To paraphrase what he said, because I don't know the exact language he used, he said that buying crypto is gambling. Now, let's take a moment to think about this statement. Now, he doesn't know this, but if someone made some off-the-cusp comment to me that crypto is gambling, I would scoff at it and not even give it the time of day. This actually irked me a bit because Mini Schiff knows me very well by now and knows how crazy passionate I am about this market. And I'll tell you why it was actually a little bit offensive of a comment. I've shared with Mini Schiff that I have spent 3.5 years religiously studying this market. I've been waking up a little later in the morning lately, but for a very long time, every day I was getting up at 4:15, 4:30, pouring in a lot of time before work, after work, pouring in time, weekends, pouring in time, charting the technicals, the fundamentals, learning about the fundamentals. And so all of this knowledge that I was accumulating left me feeling very convicted about it, very passionate, and I wanted to share this information with him. Now, like Mini Schiff, we actually have the same profession. We're both very intelligent people. And so if you think about that statement, crypto is gambling, buying crypto is gambling, what Schiff is implicitly stating in that comment is that for the past 3.5 years of my life, with all the studying I've been doing, all I've been learning how to do is set up a chair to play some blackjack, and the exchanges are casinos, and I've just been gambling my money this entire time. Now, this statement is extremely misinformed, and I think it speaks very well to, I would consider Schiff very much like a retail investor, only remove the investor component, so retail, okay? Schiff has never delved into really studying everything to the extent I have studied it. My sense, based on conversations with him, is he's barely scratched the surface, has paid attention to some mass headlines, and has formulated some opinions based on that, right? Maybe he looks at Dogecoin. Maybe he looks at Elon Musk, tweeting about Dogecoin or some things with Bitcoin or some news articles with that, and has formulated some opinions. Is very misinformed, very misinformed. The cryptocurrency market, if we're going to call buying crypto gambling, then what we need to do is we need to be on a level playing field here and call buying stocks gambling as well. You can long and short stocks in crypto. You can leverage trade stocks in crypto. You can set limit orders or you can use market orders on stocks in crypto. There's institutional involvement, much more increasing in crypto and in stocks. Okay. Is there a manipulation that takes place? Oh my God. It's funny I have to ask this question, but I'm trying to draw the parallels here. Is there manipulation that exists within the stock market? Fuck yes. Is there manipulation that takes place in the crypto market? Give me a hell yeah. Of course. Are there bad actors within the cryptocurrency market? Crypto projects that shouldn't even exist? Yes. Are there penny stocks that are robbing people of their money and shouldn't exist? Hell yes. So this statement that buying crypto is gambling, I think that, and it's only going to be over time that we'll really understand how much of a fool Schiff looks for making the statement. Schiff is not a fool, clearly. A real brilliant guy. But it's a moronic statement. It's an idiotic statement. It is a stupid statement. And it comes from a place of misinformation and not truly uneducation. Just non-educated individual of the market making this statement. And I was really floored that he made this comment. The last thing that I will say on this, and I don't think history will look kind on the statement that he's making because, well, actually, I guess there's two things I would say. I do see long-term cryptocurrency projects being interwoven into the various forms of technology that exist today. And there will be ways in which you see it and it's very present, and ways that you don't even know that it's taking place, but it's behind the scenes. Much like the internet. Very similar. The last thing I would say is kind of touching on these negative news articles that he share with me. Time and time again, I've tried to tell Schiff, from a technical analysis perspective, I studied the cycles, and I believe there's a massive generational wealth transfer opportunity that exists right now. And we're about to enter a parabolic stage, and then we're going to enter euphoria. Then we're going to enter a massive bear market. And these cycles are repeating. Like, there's an opportunity, if you know what you're doing, to really change your life. And so my vision right now, okay, guys, and everybody should know this, my vision right now is to capitalize on the market cycle at present. We're going to top out this year. And all the ways that I share with you guys how to scale out is what I'm going to be doing so that I can profit handsomely from it. And as we enter a bear market and prices correct 95% in some of these altcoins or more, I'm going to be getting back into the projects I trust and know from a fundamental perspective, but use my technical analysis to make educated decisions on logical buy entries. Does that make sense? So my focus right now is on the cycle at hand, because I saw this a couple years out, as many of you have. Hopefully some of you listening understand some of the cycle analysis. I'm capturing on it. That's my vision. Schiff sharing an article about Bitcoin being illegal or tax regulation or some bullshit, I don't give two fucks about that, because again, I'm not looking 10 years out. I'm not looking 20 years out to know what cryptocurrency projects will be successful. I'm focused on this market cycle. The other thing I would say is, if Schiff was paying attention, all the infrastructure that's being built, all these institutions are now coming in and allow clients to get into cryptocurrency. And it's being used more and more and more and being adopted, in particular Bitcoin. It's not going to all of a sudden be made illegal. That's absolutely ridiculous. So when you see those FUD articles come out next year when we're in a bear market and drive prices down, again, I rely on the charts solely. Charts are going to tell me you do get black swan events, see XRP at the end of last year, which was pretty brutal. You can get black swan events, okay? But I rely on the charts. I look at a chart, it tells me the story. It definitely tells me a story. And so I'm using multiple charts to help lead me into this generational wealth transfer cyclical opportunity. And again, these are the things I've tried to share with him, and it's not hitting home. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for Schiff that he continues to be misinformed. And he made a statement that buying crypto is gambling. It's too bad. Well, I guess I'm gambling my way to many successes years and years down the road here, I guess. So history is not going to look kindly on that statement. We'll have to revisit that, you and I, my friend, many years out. Let's get into the chart of the week. The chart of the week, without question, is ticker symbol. I don't have special effects. Matic. M-A-T-I-C. The thing's been a beast. I actually scaled in a large position around 34 cents. So I was a lot later than a lot of other people, right? So I did not. The two exchanges I used, by the way, are Binance US and Coinbase Pro. I had an opportunity to buy Polygon, Matic, well before 34 cents. But again, it's one of these things where you can only, you can only know about so many projects, and my portfolio is doing just fine. So, but the point is I'm sure I got in later than some of you guys, but I would definitely take a look at Matic. 34 cents. We're now at 89. It's been a beast. I've tweeted a few charts on it. Take a look on Twitter. Actually, the most recent chart I posted was a shorter term. Call it a shorter term bearish chart. I have drawn what I believe could be a rising wedge, which is a bearish pattern. If we fall below the trend line that I drew out on Twitter, again at CryptoBullGod, I do expect a correction. Again, if this thing corrects, look, it's healthy. It ran up. Let me just share with you how hard it ran up, okay? As it was consolidating, by the way, I shared a unique view on Twitter. One of the things I showed was the chalk and money flow index. There was a positive bullish divergence on the chart as the price was going flat, okay? Price is going sideways. Money flow index is increasing. That's telling you money is scaling into a project, okay? There's money flowing into a project and it's going just sideways. That's an indicator that we could see a potential bullish price action. By the way, I drew two parallels on two other charts. We see it in H bar and we see it in 1. So just look out for that. But anyway, after we moved out of our sideways consolidation, thank God I got into this thing at 34 cents right before it took off. So from 34 cents, we moved up about, sorry, that's the wrong, it's a time indicator. Let me get on the price indicator here. We moved up, bear with me, I'm technologically savvy. Oh, wow. We moved up 170%. So hypothetically, wow, 170%. Okay, so we moved up 170%, simply stated. So watch out for the rising wedge. If it does correct, view it as healthy consolidation. Could fall down into the 60 cent range. There's no reason that this thing can't just keep pushing higher. But at some point, gravity will catch up to it, and it'll have a pretty sharp correction. Don't freak out, all right? It's healthy. The thing's moved up 170%. Don't you wish all your projects in a couple days moved up 170%? Let's actually real quick get into the question segment of this podcast. So I'm rethinking how I want to do this portion of the segment. I'm thinking I might have made a mistake because when I opened myself up to sending me emails, what I'm realizing is people are sending me emails. It's like their dissertation. Like they're sending me emails. It sounds like they have an English final and they're writing an 11-page essay report for English. And it's just too damn long. Like people are not emailing me short questions. So again, I value you. I do. And I'm here to help you. But I don't have the time to respond to all these damn emails that are like 10 paragraphs long. I should have made that clear from the start, but it's going to take me a little bit to reply to the email. So I don't think the email thing is going to probably work out. Then on top of it, I accept DMs on Twitter, and I go to my messages right now, and I have 20 message requests that I haven't even looked at that are from people that follow me. And again, it's not... my personality type, maybe this will be helpful for you to hear this from me. My personality type, like it actually stresses me out when I have some of that stuff to get to because I'm trying to balance, okay? Like look at the content I put out on Twitter. Like I have a full-time job, all right? I say this all the time. I manage people. Like I'm busy. Okay, work's very involved. Got a lot of stuff going on. Trying to have a personal life. CryptoBullGod's a single guy, doesn't want to be single for the rest of his life. He's trying to get out there and mingle with different people, all right? Maybe looking into getting a dog, all right? Yeah, personal life, friends, trying to go out, do things. And so I'm also tweeting all these charts, and I'm making videos, TA videos, and podcasts, and it's just causing me a little bit of stress because I don't have the time. I want everyone to feel valued. Because I tweet pretty consistently that I value everyone and really appreciate the engagement, and I do. It's just I'm finding it a little stressful to kind of keep up with everything. So bear with me as I respond to you. And the change in the podcast that I may look to make moving forward was what I did today. I actually think that might work out really well. What I might do is the day I record the podcast, I will simply tweet and say, is there anything you'd like to ask me? Let me see. What did I tweet here? I tweeted... this damn thing disappears when I do that. I don't know why it does that. I tweeted a very simple tweet that I got a few replies. I didn't get a ton of engagement. I don't know what that says, but I didn't get a ton of engagement. I guess nobody has any questions, right? So if I scroll down here, I just said I will be recording a new episode of my podcast today. Is there anything anyone would like me to touch on? And I think that's what I'm probably going to do moving forward. And I apologize if you about the email thing. I just don't think it's going to work out. It's causing more stress because I'm getting essays written to me and I don't have the time to reply. So there were only a couple replies here. HBAR, okay, so there's a few tokens that people wanted me to take a look at. There's HBAR, Stack, and PRQ. I'm not familiar with Stack. I'm not familiar with PRQ, but you know what? On the spot, I'll chart it. HBAR, I'm very familiar with, and I tweet about way too much, so you guys should know where I stand with that. I tweet about it all the time. Also, tips on using Uniswap. So, for Uniswap, I've checked out the platform just to look at the interface. I've looked at the ERC20 tokens that are on there, but I've never actually used it. So I don't have any tips on using Uniswap. I've just checked it out. I haven't, not saying I'm not going to use it at some point. I just haven't yet. Stack and PRQ. So this would be a good intro to Chartmania. By the way, once my YouTube channel, I'm only at, guys, you got to help me out here. I'm only at, I think, 801 subscribers. So when I get to 1,000 subscribers, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an annual event. It's going to be called Chartmania. It's going to be a live YouTube streaming event. And I'll have a few charts that I'll chart. But the cool thing is, because it's a live stream, you guys can interact with me, and I'll just chart shit on the spot and give you my take on what I'm seeing. And then you can test my TA skills. Like, can this guy actually really chart, or is somebody else doing it for him? Stack and PRQ. I promise you, I have not looked at any of these things ahead of time. So this is going to be on the spot. So let's take a look at Stack. I'm curious if I can even find some of these on TradingView. Yeah, this isn't even, okay. STAQ. Wait, what is it? Oh, STAK, sorry. Okay. STAK. Okay, Stack. I'm going to guess there's going to be like no price data on this. This is going to be fun. So what I typically like to do, let me just pull this up first. So I'm going to pull up Stake USDT, Tether USD on Poloniex. All right, how much price data we got? All right, this goes back to July 20, so not even a year worth of price data. So what I typically like to do if I'm charting something out and I'm taking a look at this for you guys and giving my analysis, what I do is I like to zoom out first, look at the macro perspective. So I might look at depending on how much price data is present, I'll zoom out on a monthly chart, then look at a weekly chart, then go to a daily, maybe a 3-day, but a daily. Go to the 12-hour, and if it makes sense, go to the 4-hour. That's kind of how I approach it. So let's go. I don't think a monthly on this is going to make any sense. Let's go to a weekly. All right, weekly price action. We've fallen below the 10 simple moving average, and we're struggling to get above the 20 simple moving average at 2043. We're kind of holding that line there. What I'd like to see from a weekly perspective, the other thing I'd point out on a weekly perspective is we're creating lower highs. So if I draw a line here, yeah, we're creating lower highs. I don't see any bullish divergence on the weekly chart. So for me, on a weekly chart, what I would pay attention to, the first thing I'd want to see us maintain a level above the 20 SMA at 2043, get above the 10 SMA. I don't want to see that 10 cross below the 20. It's looking like it's curling down. So I want to see some strong movement to finish this week and then going into next week. I need to see us get above $23. Once we clear $23, the prior high was at 36.70. So let's get above 36.70, and then we can start talking about entertaining the all-time high, which was at, what's this high at? 42.70, so call it 43. All right. Let's go to a daily. Okay, so we're maintaining a level above the 200 SMA, which is good to see. You know, if I was looking for an entry on this one on a daily and I was using the daily as an entry point, I'd be looking at that 10 SMA, which is right around 1978. Because if this continues bullish, it looks like what we're going to get here is a cross above the 50 SMA. But really, it's about the prior all-time high. I mean, really, we need to clear that 3670. That's really what we want to see to start feeling a lot more bullish. Let's go to a 12-hour. Not too much to see here. We're below the 200 SMA. Let's get above that 200 SMA. That's not good to see. So let's stop there. Let's go to, what was it? PRQ. I have no freaking clue what that is. PRQ. Oh, God. This is going to be another one. It's not on many exchanges here. All right. This is a Uniswap token. PRQ USDT on Poloniex. Oh, this one looks like it's been around for, let me see here. All right, it's been around about the same amount of time, about August. Ooh, I like the market structure on this one. Wait, hold on. Let me zoom out on a weekly. Ooh, I like this. We're maintaining a level right above the 10 SMA. It's above the 20 SMA. We got higher highs coming in, and we got higher lows coming in on the weekly. This is a nice chart. Whoever pointed this out, who was this? Let me see. I'm digging this chart. Rafiki at Yura Baboon. All right, that's a creative name. Dude, I like this chart, man. This is a nice one. The daily, I'll tell you what I'm seeing on the daily. This is a more beautiful chart than the last one. We got the MACD starting to curl up. I'm looking at the daily. Stochastic RSI is cross bullish. RSI is kind of neutral at 44. But what's happening is even though the 10 SMAs cross below the 50 SMA, what I'm seeing is I'm seeing higher lows, and I'm seeing us try to push above that 10 SMA at 160. I think if we can start to get some bullish momentum here, we're probably going to kind of stutter around. Let me see where this price momentum is at. We're going to battle. To me, it looks like we're going to battle an area. We're going to battle an area right around, looking at prior price resistance and moving averages as I'm doing this. We're going to battle an area between where we're at now and all the way as high as the 180 area. Once we can start to clear $1.80, I think what you're going to see is you're going to see these moving averages start to cross bullishly and have them all above each other in descending order, which is what you want to see. Or in ascending order. Yeah, I think ascending order. 10 above the 20, 20 above the 50. I like this chart setup. This is really nice. Let's go to the 12-hour, actually. I'm really anxious to see the 12-hour. Okay, so we're maintaining levels above the 200 SMA. The 10 SMA is looking like it wants to curl up and cross the 20 and start to entertain this 50 SMA right at 191. MACD's curling up. Stochastic RSI looks good. The RSI is neutral. I like this chart setup. Where would I entertain a buy entry if I was looking to buy here? Well, we're creating higher lows on the daily. All right, so our low the other day was 151. We're at 152. Let me go on a 4-hour. I'm going to go on a 4-hour here. Where would I entertain a buy level? You know where I'd entertain a buy level? I would scale right now. If I had some money, I would scale half in here, and I would look to entertain a region. I'm looking at the 4-hour right now. I would entertain 156, 157, right at that 10 SMA. Call it 157, because what you want to do is if you're aiming for a moving average, you want to put your buy limit order slightly above it to make sure it hits. So I'd say 157. We're at 159. I don't know. We're squabbling over pennies. So I don't know. It looks like a buy to me. I mean, I like the chart setup on this one. This is looking really good. All right. So I think that's all I had for today. Thanks for engaging me on Twitter with some things to discuss on the podcast. I think that's what I'm going to maintain moving forward. We're going to get off the questions in the email box because it's a little much for me keeping up on everything. So I hope everyone appreciated the content. And as always, in closing, till the end of this bull cycle, please join me in a moment of silence for all of those I attempted on multiple occasions to get into crypto and have remained ignorant. Thank you.